YouTube. Pass the Prop is back at it today, Wednesday, NBA show. Stu, we're back for some NBA 10-gamer tonight. I can't get away with going to another NFL shitty Thursday night game. How we doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm wondering if Amazon is really starting to regret this, like purchasing Thursday Night Football. Because, I mean, once again, this is like normally a football show when it's on. But at the end of the day, the scheduling is a little rough. And, we're 24/7. We're here betting NFL. We're here betting NBA. We're here betting college football. So luckily, still a huge slate today, that we can not look ahead to tomorrow, focus in on some games today. I haven't lost a bet in 4 straight shows. So I'm hoping that good luck continues to carry us through. Just excited, man. It's a solid Wednesday, good weather, holiday time of year. It's a good time to make some money today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got obviously NFL's been treating us very well. 51-40, almost 14 units there. But we're diverse, man. We'll figure it out, especially when we have some games like this where, this is gross. Just yet again, just another bad look. I guess I can't say all primetime ones because I guess Saturday games are considered primetime now, and they're putting out some good stuff on the Saturday games. It's just this Rams Saints game. It's kind of gross, man. You're gonna see Kyren Williams, chalk of all chalk. Everybody's gonna bet him. You're gonna see Cooper Kupp, chalk of all chalk. Let's bet him, right? And when Derek Carr is involved in a game, you will not see my money anywhere close to that game because he is the worst quarterback in the NFL. So we will get away from that.
Yeah, no, I'm literally just sitting there. I'm sure everyone is doing this right now. Just like the question is like, are you going to bet Kyren Williams 19.5 carries or not? 18.5, 19.5. It's one of those two right now. Like that's because how do you not after these last couple games, even when the Rams are facing like the worst secondary in the league, like they were last week, they were still like, we'll give this guy, 23 touches. Royce Freeman can have like 4, but like he's the bell cow. So I'm going to be looking in the mirror and kind of asking myself that all day. Cause I want to play, 18.5. That's a pretty hefty number. It's a short week, just an ugly game, man. Glad we don't have to talk about it for too much longer here.
Yeah, no. And I will not have a bet in that one there, man, at all. We're just gonna avoid it. But that's the best part, guys, is college basketball, NBA, MLB. We're here, right? We're here trying to get you guys to get paid. We find an edge somewhere. That's where we want to be putting our money on it. And I told Stu before the show, phenomenal day of college basketball, but we want to stick to NBA here when we have a 10-gamer like this. We're blessed a little bit here, man. 10-game slate, some massive totals. I guess we can get right into it. Obviously, we got 14 of you guys in here live. Hit that like button. We appreciate you guys being here right on time. And yes, let's talk some NBA. How's it been going midweek for you so far, betting on some NBA?
It's been pretty good. I didn't bet at all yesterday. I normally don't bet too much on Tuesdays, like serious. So I just donated a ton of money by accident in college football because I thought I got some sharp news. I thought I got some good holdout information. I'm sure you saw that as well. The running back.
I did not play that game for that exact reason. It was so crazy, man, how fast that blind moves. When even just a little bit of news comes out, or even just a little just like a one person saying something. I got gun shy on that exact reason because of the Monday night game, man. We saw Geno Smith say he's ruled in. I'm like, I can't trust none of this. Another quarterback going to be out. I'm just going to be like, I could bet some college basketball instead, and then thank God, because that was so weird how fast that line moved.
Oh my God. And I got some great numbers too. Like on the running back, that his line opened at like 90 something and it moved down to like 65. And because it was ruled, Ali, it was ruled he was going to have maybe a soft out, right? So he was going to play the first quarter or something. So I got a bunch of stale lines, slammed them all. The guy's like 95 yards and 9 carries in the first quarter. It doesn't even matter. So that was, I guess, my lesson of the week is that bowl season is crazy. And sometimes you're going to be on the right side of those. You're going to get some good news and you're going to cash. But that kind of killed my vibe yesterday, I guess, because I was out at I wasn't watching the game. I just opened up the ESPN box score and saw that all my 25-point CLV numbers had lost right there.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Ollie's been a stud for a while over there at Marshall. Definitely a team you want to bet overs with. But with this bowl news and everybody sitting and all that, it's really tough to bet bowls, at least until you get to like the bigger ones where the big guys are wanting to play. I have not yet had a bet in bowl season, and usually I'm one of the first guys in there. It's just, dude, you never know, because the best guy could be just ruled out. I don't want to play, right? I mean, it happens way too much. Unfortunately, a lot of them are probably transferring if their team is not doing that well, which is another story. But that's what makes these hard. That's what makes these like lower level bowl games tough. So I think we should be good to roll here, Stu, about talking about last slate here. You got some pretty nice games here on this Wednesday slate. In terms of pretty close spreads, right? We have one game at 9.5. Everything else pretty damn competitive. And the 9.5 could quite possibly be one of the best games of the season. I really like this game, these slates. Obviously, the totals aren't as high as we've been seeing lately, but I think this is just good games. And I mean, some of them are going to blow out. It's the NBA, but which one are you looking forward to here?
Yeah, no, it's very funny that you said like maybe the biggest spread is the best game of the day. Like that was in contention for my, game of the day. I think my game of the day is still Clippers Mavs though. At the end of the day, that's going on the big screen. We got the playoff rivalry. We got some, these two teams don't particularly like each other. So for me, anytime you get a regular season game like that, a little extra effort, that extra edge is always important. But man, I mean, you said it yourself. This is the NBA. You look at a spread and you go, oh, that game has blowout potential. Everyone loves blowout, but every game has blowout potential. If you want, it's out of all these games, now that you've said that out loud, there's only one spread over 9. Like you said, I guarantee it, that game is not a blowout. I guarantee it, we have a good game. I'm happy to hear that now. I'm going to be betting more on this game now that I see that as well, because the one game with a huge spread, every other game is close. Yeah, that's going to be the one that goes to overtime right there. And then the Celtics or in the Kings game is going to be a blowout at night, and people are going to be sad.
Yeah, what a tough little stretch there for the Celtics, right? You play in a really tough game there last night against the Warriors. Obviously, Steph hits that go-ahead 3 late in the game. Tatum had a little ankle injury, came back, did play. So maybe we see a little precautionary stuff there. But this Kings team is not a team I'd want to go to on a back-to-back with their legs like that. These guys are going to keep moving. You're going to have a tough matchup. Al Horford going to try and body up Sabonis. Yeah, good luck, buddy. That's going to be a fun one. I am excited to see Drew Holiday, De'Aaron Fox. Makes that game a little bit more fun to watch there. Oh, God, dude, there's a lot of games I like. I think a team I haven't bet at all, really, because I just do not like anywhere being close to Cam Thomas, is that Knicks game. Knicks, Nets. Yeah. I think that's to be a fun game. 1-point spread. My favorite guy to bet this year is Julius Randle. The dude's just been an absolute monster. Just an absolute beast. Again, cashing another point rebounds, assist line for me against the Lakers. Get that little revenge narrative. And now you have pretty much who's going to guard this man, right? Who's going to guard him, right? You're going to have whether it's going to be – I think Jericho Sims is probably out here. So now we get to maybe unleash Mr. Hartenstein for 30-plus minutes, matching up with Claxton. Who's going to guard this man at the 4? They're not going to play Day'Ron Sharpe. They're not going to put him in with Claxton in there. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see little Julius Randle just play some bully ball and put these boys down a little bit here. I'm excited to watch that. On the Nets side, obviously, I know you hate him, but Dinwiddie's been playing some nice basketball lately. And obviously Brunson coming off a 50-piece. So you got enough news around to kind of make this game pretty entertaining.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I mean, you even say the name Dinwiddie. I saw some people betting on him this morning. You can't hate. I mean, he's distributing right now. They've got some shooters. This would really be a game where they could use Ben Simmons. When you were going through your explanation, I completely agree. That's where he comes in because they don't have anyone to fill that. I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the Nets handle it. I'm excited. I think that's not going to be the most fun game for betting in general.
No.
But these two teams are just going to punch each other in the face. That's what we like about both of them. They're very gritty, hard-nosed teams. So I agree. This is going to be a very entertaining game. Definitely might be one I'm live betting as well if we see some opportunities there.
Yeah, just so many minutes. for starters in those games, right? Especially, I mean, you saw Cam Thomas play 38 last game. It's just I can never bet on Cam Thomas anything but points. I can't play him in DFS because the dude scores 40 points and scores 47 DraftKings points.
Yep.
You're that scoring reliant that you don't do anything else, right? Dinwiddie almost outscored him. I think he had 14 actual points, right? That's the peripherals. That's what makes DFS fun. Because you'd look out at a game and be like, oh my God, Cam Thomas dominating. But here's Dinwiddie with 17 rebounds and assists. And you're like, wow, okay. Showing out a little bit there. Nothing official here, Stu. But what I mean, we talked about these games being close. You got to have some dog barking in the background there, man. What are you looking at there for some dogs? Nothing official. We haven't done any dog picks here. I'll probably wait till after the NFL season to start kind of making this more into a full show. But got to be a dog barking for you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple. I think the Timberwolves have to be tempting, right? I mean, just with how good they are, it's kind of like I don't want to say like the Chiefs, but like it's that kind of idea of you're getting a team that's covering at this, rate, a talented team like this as a almost 4-point underdog in some spots. To me, that jumps off the page. I think the other one that I like and the one that I think I might bet the Rockets tonight. Maybe I'll just throw both these two teams in a parlay. I think the Hawks, obviously, I think even they're a little underrated, to be honest. I think it's a little easy to hate on them just because their stars maybe aren't the most liked players in the world, right? But I do think the Rockets, their transition defense is the best in basketball. And if they can slow that part of the game down, if they can control the pick and roll a little bit better like they've been solid at on the season, they're very good at limiting, spot-up shooters, crushing these outside attempts. So I think the Rockets could keep that game close. They could keep it ugly and, hey, maybe even steal a win at the end. Just the scoring is the tough part for the Rockets for me.
Yeah, dude, I think I might be going to the highest spread. I think I might be going with the Hornets there. I think you got to see PJ Washington a little bit hurt there, right? I'm assuming Mark Williams isn't going to play, which I don't even think is that big of a deal because Miles Turner's not posting up anybody anyway, right? PJ Washington, a healthy guy. Now we got Gordon Hayward supposed to be playing today, so getting a little healthier, but couple dudes. This Indiana defense is probably the worst defense I have ever seen. Like they just don't care. Like you're going to get open looks. Can you make your open looks? And I have a couple guys that I do trust tonight that I do really want to back. Yeah,
no, I mean, I hate to be the guy that brings my own team into it, but for me, it reminds me so much of the Russell Westbrook Wizards teams, right? And that run at the end of the year where Russ's assists are 12.5. I mean, like in the last couple of years, Halliburton and Russ are the only guys to get there since like the Harden days, which were a while ago, back when he was in Houston. So to me, just seeing that every game, you can depend on fast pace, you can depend on tempo, points in the paint, transition. Like I feel like we haven't had that this readily available in a while because other teams that were in that category were just bad. So like they couldn't keep up with you at times, right? Like at like the Rockets, even these last couple of years, the Kings, these last couple of years, OKC, that's not good for betting because they're getting blown out every game. Like the Pacers are in it no matter what. It's a game no matter what. And that kind of consistency is just amazing for prop betting, as you'll see in our plays today, I'm sure.
So Stu did hit the over half a mention of his hometown team without them on the slate. I thought I was going to be the first one to hit the over. I thought I was going to be the first one to mention the Bucks on here, but Stu hits that over. It was minus 180, so it was sitting there. We expected Stu to mention the Washington once in this show, but getting the cash in on that prop within the first 15 minutes of the show, nice first half sweat-free cash right there, having that mention in there. Stu, you got anything else before we get it rolling here into this, like I said, pretty fun slate?
I mean, I'll just say that was minus 180 on MGM. It was 250 on Pinnacle. There's a lock over there. If you're following the sharp bucks, maybe you caught a good number right there. Happy for you. But hey, I will say before we get into the analysis, I didn't do the best job of getting my tweets out there in time today. So if you're not here with us live, if you're here with us later, obviously leave a like while you're down there. But feel free to drop any questions, comments, bets. We will get to them. We'll probably be putting some long shots in the comment section by the end of the day as well. So definitely drop your comment if you haven't already. already. That's a little bit on me for not getting the tweet out late. It's the holiday season. It's a little disorganized, but that's all, that's always what we got. I know some people think it's live or bust, but no, we're here 24/7.
For sure. Stu, we talked about that game quite a bit, especially with me betting on the dogs there. I'll let you start us off here in that game here.
Yep, I'm going to Nick Richards, the center, over for the Charlotte Hornets. If you're not familiar with them, then you probably do not play that much DFS, because this is one of those guys that always pops off the page as a great per-minute producer, right? He's not like a star NBA player or anything like that, but he's great at bringing down rebounds, blocks, and getting up shots, right? And that's what we really want here. I mean, I was telling Justin for the show, I was looking at 1 block and 10 points as an option. Currently, 1 block isn't even listed as an option. I think that changes at some point. They normally don't do stuff like that all day. So if you see the blocks out there, I definitely think that's something that you should be looking at attacking as well. But for me, what I like about points, we obviously got into it a minute ago. This is the worst defense in in basketball we're playing. It's the highest tempo offense in basketball. And when you look in particular, they've given up the most points in the paint by a decent margin over these last 15 games. Nick Richards exclusively scores in the paint. I mean, this is not your stretch big. This is not your PJ Washington replacement. No. This is a guy that is going to score in the paint. He's going to have a lot of his baskets assisted to him. He's great at offensive rebounds. As a starter this year, averaging 2.7 offensive rebounds per game. As we know, the Pacers have been a bottom 5 rebounding team all year and a bottom 3 offensive rebounding team in particular. So that's what I want to target here. You love getting those putback possibilities as something. We mentioned Mark Williams is doubtful in this game. To be honest, I don't think Mark Williams is going to play. So I think he's going to start.
I don't think we're hearing anything from that at all.
Yeah.
That he might be out till the weekend.
But my comment I will say is I could play, not at this number, I'd like it at a discount, but I would play Richards in this same game, like even if Mark Williams was playing. Because 1, he's shown himself as a dependable bench player so far this year. But 2, I truly think this is his best matchup in basketball right here. I believe he's only had less than 3 or 4% of his points on the season are non-paint points. It is exclusively getting his work done in the paint right here. And I mean, this is a transition basketball player's dream. This is someone that scores in the paint stream. This is an offensive rebounder's dream, right? And like I said, 29 minutes per game as a starter so far on the season. Great per minute producer. If we can get this guy over 25 minutes, I have a lot of confidence he can get the job done, especially if this is one of those situations where maybe they are down 10, 15 points. I mean, the paint defense doesn't get any better from the Pacers then, right? It becomes a lot more easy, lazy buckets allowed. I think Richards will be the beneficiary of that, especially if he's still grinding those offensive boards. I don't think that's being taken into account enough. And if this does go up on Prize Picks has an offensive rebounding only category. I don't know what the chances are. I can bet on that. But if I can, I will. And I'll let you guys know in the comments as well.
Yeah, man. I don't know what this defense is, right? And we saw Miles Turner as well, man, not play yesterday. So it's could he actually sit again? You know what I mean? If he sits, you're going to be seeing Isaiah Jackson, right? I mean, then what? You're going to have Obi Toppin? That dude's one of the worst defensive players I've ever seen. So this is a brutal front court. They're loaded in the back court, right? They got tons of dudes who can score in the back court. Your Buddy Hields, Mathurin, Tyrese, all these dudes can just score in their buckets, but the paint is the issue. Number 1 in points allowed in the paint there. I'm going to be in that same game, and I'm going to be going to my boy, little Terry Rozier action. You guys know we try to buy low, sell high on some of these guys when we're playing this. I think this is the ultimate buy low spot. Ultimate. Look at the last 2 games for Terry Rozier. They got 50 balled by Philly, and he played 20 minutes, right? 6 points, 2 assists. He had 22 and 7, and this man could not stop fouling in their last game against Toronto. I was watching it, had a lot of Rozier exposure. Burned me. I'm going right back. You can't. You have to have a short memory in this, and I do have a short memory on Terry Rozier because I absolutely love this spot. Let's just go over the last 5 games, right? last 5 games, Terry Rozier, known mostly for his scoring, 12.4 potential assists over his last 5 games. Obviously, running is a ball dominant guy. In this month, he's had 2 games with 13 assists already this year, or this month, right? Pretty impressive. Scoring 30 in 2 of those games as well. So has the ability to pop off in each, which is something we always talk about as something that we want to have when we're betting multiple categories like this. But also, best matchup in the league, pace up matchup. And we're going to have shooters now, right? You're going to have PJ Washington out on the side. You're going to have Nick Richards in the paint. I really have no issue thinking Gordon Hayward's going to be taking the assist from him. But also, Rozier's going to chuck, right? Outside of those last 2 games, 25, 17, 24, 20, 16 shot attempts. That's his shot attempts this month, right? Outside of those last 2 games. We're getting a really nice buy low spot, right? He hit 29 against Toronto with foul trouble. Couldn't even get into that rhythm, right? So as a guy who was watching that game, I don't know if books take that into consideration that he was in foul trouble, right? I don't see this team having issues scoring on these guys. And honestly, these are the types of games I think that do stay close. I understand they could pull away at the end, but a lot of points to be scored, 248 total. And I know this guy's going to be on the court. We've seen this month when he is the starter here, he's gotten 40 minutes in 3 games this month, guys. This dude's going to get out there. Keep this close. Stop fouling. Just if Tyrese is by you, just let him go by you, buddy. Just let him go, right? I mean, he's going to be pushing those assists early on in the games. That's why he's one of the best first quarter assist guys. But sign me up for some Rozier. Points, assists over 31.5. Probably my favorite spot on the slate today.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much usage to go around without LaMelo in that team. I mean, it's designed for him to run and gun, and then there's not a replacement after that. You know what I mean? It's almost like the Grizzlies where it's like, okay, Desmond Bane, I guess you're the point guard now. You know what I mean? But the only difference is Terry Rozier's actually been in this role for like 3 years now. And he's actually like a guy before you would never want to include assists for Terry Rozier like 4 years ago, something like that. You just wouldn't really trust it. But now, I mean, obviously over the last couple of years, very dependable. I love how much usage there is to go around in this matchup right here. And what's one thing we know about Terry as well? This guy, when he goes off, he absolutely goes off. Like for me, with this game environment, with knowing his tendencies as a player, I mean, it's going to be hard not to get a little sprinkle on like 40 points, right? I mean, this is a guy that like when he blows up, he blows up. You know what I mean? There's not that much in the middle. So I definitely want to at least get a little sprinkle, you know, assuming they keep this game close. Someone's going to have to ball out, right? Look at the Pacers offense. We know they're going to score. So who's going to respond and by how much? When you look at the names, there's not that many options. It's why both of us, you know, like players on the same side. Hopefully they benefit each other in this one a little bit. Definitely like in the Terry spot.
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention, I know we haven't gotten to long shots or anything here, but Nick Richards, you talked about already in the points wise. The dude's doubles like plus 160, right? So if you think he can grab those rebounds, we're already getting there on points. Just something to look at. With Miles Bridges in there back, that will take a lot of usage, a lot of minutes. But my God, dude, how do I not bet a little sprinkle on Terry Rozier double with those assist numbers? 260 on FanDuel right now. Just so much value when you have this big of a pace up, right? The Charlotte takes a huge step down in terms of pace without LaMelo in there. So this is going to be fun. We should see a ton of possessions. Let's go, Terry. Let's go, baby. I think we're going to have a good one tonight.
100%. I see DeJuice in the chat asking about Hayward. What do you think about Hayward 16.5 points? Is he kind of, because I think he's kind of the odd man out for me personally.
Yeah, I don't like betting on Gordon Hayward when the other wings are healthy. Like Miles Bridges couldn't travel to Toronto. You saw PJ Washington healthy, right? So that last game really is obsolete to me. But that's what makes it even more impressive that Terry Rozier got 7 assists in that game. And he's passing to PJ and Nick Richards. That's pretty much it, right? Gordon Hayward was out, right? Bryce McGowan's was playing 30 minutes, bro. Come on now. And this boy's still getting 7 assists. He's putting these guys in good positions. Yeah, he's not allowed in Canada. That's why he didn't play last game. So against Toronto. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I like the assists even more, right? Is because dude has so many options, man. So many options now. And I'm not really worried about, Nick Richards having to worry about anybody down there. So most of those buckets should be on an alley-oop coming from Terry Rozier if he's not pulling from three. So just another thing to think about, So ours do kind of relate a little bit there. And I think we're still going to be good. And Hayward, oh yeah, no, I don't mind it. I just think 16.5, dude hasn't played in 3 games. Bringing Bridges back in there. PJ Washington hasn't been healthy in the 2 games prior to Gordon Hayward when he was playing. So it's like we've seen everybody mixed and matched without LaMelo, but this is probably the most healthy they're going to get without Mark Williams in there. So do like that spot. And I think Nick Richards and Rozier are the 2 guys I want to bet who do get those set forwards in terms of usage and balls in their hand there on there for sure. Took Miles Bridges over 21.5 last night. Good stuff. Yeah, I think that's all we need to talk about on that game. If you have any other questions, guys, 30 live viewers here. Thank you, guys. Hit that like button. Like I said, we're trying to get these likes up. I know we ask a lot, but I know it takes us a couple seconds. Just grab it there. Stu, let's get into these next couple spots here. Place 3 and number 4.
Yep, sounds good. We are going to be going. I don't think I've had a same game parlay, or maybe actually I think I've had this is my second same game parlay for NBA on the season on Past the Prop at least. We are going Karl Anthony Towns 18 points, Max Strus 12 points, minus 113 over on DraftKings. For me, this is targeting 2 guys that I like a lot today. I mean, to be honest, I would play both these guys straight, and I still am planning on it. It's just the market is like all over the place right now. And it was really like everywhere. And I couldn't get a good number. Like Strus's regular number for points was like juiced to minus 160. Cat for points and rebounds was minus 180. And then it was up 3 more points on FanDuel. So for me, I was kind of having a little bit of trouble figuring out how I was going to target these guys I like. So I think this is a good way to combine it because at the end of the day, Karl Anthony Towns has a very similar attribute to Julius Randle that we talked about. One of my favorite things as a bettor, especially someone that has specialized in these alt lines over the last couple of years, is he has that consistent, safe floor. He has the volume that we know a high usage player like Karl Anthony Towns is going to have, especially playing against a player that's going to be receiving more extra attention than almost any player in the league. And when we look at this matchup, he's had a lot of success in the past against Philly. And what I like about it is he's going to get a lot of Tobias Harris in this one. Nothing wrong with Tobias Harris, solid defender. He's not bad enough where they're going to have to send extra help all the time, but he's still, it's a size advantage. He's guarding a 5 at the end of the day. Karl Anthony Towns, the advantage of this offensive system is he's constantly getting the size advantage on these smaller defenders. I think he's going to take advantage of that. I don't see any reason why he would see any less usage than a regular game right here, right? Where he finds himself consistently in this 18 to 24 point range. I just like that we're getting the discount right here. I don't like that that we don't have to pay the juice. And I will say I like Cat rebounds as well. We'll get to that in the long shot portion of our show. Just the prices were a little bit all over the place. I think this is a good way to attack Cat in a game where I think he has a pretty reasonable matchup. And I think the market, because of the conditions of this game, because it's 2 really good teams with solid defenses, I think maybe they're bringing this number down a little bit lower than it should be. I don't think it should be in the minus 235 range. I think it should be in the minus 300 range personally. So I think that's a good parlay piece to attack right there. Strus is the other leg. I'm going to be playing Strus ladders today. I think this is a good opportunity when we look at this Cleveland team with the injuries that they're facing. There is usage to go around. We were just speaking about that with the Charlotte game. Obviously, Mobley's been the biggest news. And we get a little bit on the other side, an exciting matchup with the Jazz trying to bring Colin Sexton back as well. They can reunite Sexland, as they were called back in the day. So that'll be fun to watch. I think that's a game we haven't actually touched on too much yet, but I think for all the DFS guys, for all the prop guys, that'll actually be one of the more fun games of the day because Cleveland normally is a shit matchup. Nobody wants to mess with these guys when they have those absolute monsters down low. But when you take one out of the equation, things suddenly get a little bit better, right? And now we're missing starts. A guy like Strus, he's playing well in the season. If you ask any Cavs fan, they're super happy with what they've got. even then, in the last month, the shooting hasn't been great. Only 38% overall, and then 30% from three. So I see volume. I see opportunity with the injuries. I see a good matchup against the Jazz, who allow more spot-up opportunities than any other team in basketball. I see a perfect opportunity for some regression right here. I think we don't see 30% streaks, because when you look at a lot of these game lines, I mean, we're talking 1 for 9 from three. That volume is still there. The volume is the consistent part. That's always the thing I like to look at when a guy's going through a rough shot. At the end of the day, Max Strus gets paid that money to go out there and shoot, right? When he's not making them, sometimes you got to make something happen and it doesn't work, right? But I love seeing the volume there. I mean, I know it's crazy to say, but seeing a 1 for 9 in the Bucks game log come up multiple times in the season is a great sign for me as a bettor, because I don't want you to stop for 1 from 4, because I know some guys do, and you never want to see that. We're going to keep getting those opportunities. I spoiled a little for the long shots, but I love Strus today. I definitely think the ladder's a good spot. I just think this is a good, safe way to attack two offensive players that I like tonight.
Yeah, and my relation, like what I relate this to, is Julius Randle early in the year. You guys know I'm a stan, Julius Randle stan. First 10 games of the year, this dude was shooting 32% on layups. And he was still scoring 20 a game. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, the regret, you guys might think, oh, that's bad. That ain't bad. That means the dude is still putting together good numbers with terrible efficiency. Right now, imagine if they fall, right? Strus, obviously a guy you want to see chuck. This Cavs team is really hurting for bodies as well without Garland or let me put this, capable bodies. These boys played Isaac Okoro 33 minutes. Yep. They're playing Dean Wade 25 minutes a game. Strus is going to get his full run here. I'm happy this isn't in Utah altitude out there. I'm happy this is at home. Again, nice spot here. I think Utah tries to stop. I mean, not fully stop, but try to not have Donovan Mitchell put 50 on him, right?
I was going to say, yeah.
It's going to be tough, right? I mean, you don't want to have this guy just continue to just torch you, right, when you got rid of him, right? So I think that this is going to be a spot where maybe we see a little bit more passing from him. Maybe you see a little bit more double teams coming to Donovan Mitchell, which you should without Garland out there. That's the best way to happen. I don't want to see Donovan Mitchell shoot the ball 30 times, because guess what? He's probably ending up with 50. I'd rather have Strus shoot it. And guess what? Strus has shown that he's a capable shooter and can hit down open looks. So I think that the injury to Garland and the injury to Mobley should have this Jazz team focus even more on Donovan Mitchell. I'm gonna say that as if they're capable of being smart playing basketball.
Yeah, but you nailed it right there. I mean, this is a guy, Donovan Mitchell is the story of this game. He is the story. When you look at the bulletin board at practice, it's going to be a big picture of his face and say, we can't let this guy beat us. Because like you said, we know these bench players. They've been on this team for I mean, I like Okoro. I wanted to draft him at one time. The guy has no offensive game. You know what I mean? When you're competing with 0% offensive usage players, that's spectacular. I mean, Mitchell can be the story of this game. Mitchell can drop 50 points in this game. And I can still see Max Strus cashing my threes ladder, because there's 120 points that have to go around, 110, whatever you think the team total is here. And it can't possibly be all one guy. And when you look at, like you said, when you look at the bodies, we don't have great options here. It's the guys that can self-create for themselves are gone. Strus isn't a great self-creator, but he can shoot the ball faster than anyone else, and he can do a little bit of self-creation. So for me, I agree it's going to be locked in on Mitchell. I still think he balls out because he's Donovan Mitchell at the end of the day. But I think there's plenty to go around right here, and I think Strus is a guy that should be more in the conversation than he is.
Beautiful. And I know we've been doing normal lines. Now, let's look at this. I'm going to Luka Doncic. Points, rebounds. Don't even give me the assists. I'm taking it at 46.5, minus 110. I really wanted to play the alt lines and throw it around, but FanDuel's being a bunch of assholes, man. They're giving me 30 points at minus 550. That's terrible, dude. I can't do that. I can't come close to that, right? I don't care. I just bet on Giannis to score 30 at minus 300 against the worst defense in the NBA, right? And now you're going to give me this, obviously, minus 2 towards the Clippers. And they don't have Kyrie. They don't even have Kyrie. That is what the books are expecting. They're expecting Luka to go absolutely berserk because how else are they staying in this game? You got no Derek Lively. We saw 15 rebounding chances for Luka last game, converting over 70% of those, which is huge because Lively's not there, and that's the guy usually grabbing those rebounds. Guess what? These dudes that are there outside of Exum have been with them long enough to be like, oh, Luka's next to me. He's getting that rebound. We're stat padding. Derek Lively don't know that yet. He's going to try to get his own numbers to get paid. These boys know. Tim Hardaway, guess what? He ain't fighting for no rebound. He's not going to try, right? You're going to let him grab it because it's Luka. You want to see him put up some big boy numbers. Dante Exum, he's not going to fight for it. Let him have it. Dwight Powell ain't going to let – they're not going to get in front of Luka. They're going to let him have it. Every free throw miss, Luka Doncic will grab that rebound. So just my little rant on that. But Luka Doncic, I'm going to go back. His last 5 games at home versus the Clippers. I know you go to the ones, a couple away games, a little bit different. Obviously, you have the entire crowd on your side. They all want to see you just absolutely nuke these guys, right? We're going back to 2022. Luka Doncic, 40 minutes, 51-9. The next game against them, 45-15. Right? Then you go to the next year, 35-11. 29-10, and then you go to the last time they played when he was there, 44-6. There is absolutely nowhere in here who is stopping Luka Doncic. I understand, hey, let's throw Terrence Mann at him. Let's throw all these good wing defenders at him. It doesn't matter, dude. You can double team. You don't think Luka's been double teamed almost every time he's touched the ball without Kyrie? This dude finds a way to get that ball back, draws so many fouls. I'd be really surprised to see if they're going to try and put Kawhi on him. It's never worked. They never really try to do it because he's got to do so much on the offensive end. If they put Harden on him, oh my God, he might drop 100. I think this game's going to be competitive. We're seeing a mid 230s total. Luka's obviously the most ball dominant dude in the NBA without Kyrie here. And I think we go back to this type of game without Kyrie on the court. Rebounds, I think he can absolutely destroy his line there with no Lively. And I think he's going for an absolutely absurd line tonight.
Yeah, I mean, oh boy. Yeah, obviously, the 46.5 is a big boy number, but like you said, it's for good reason. I mean, I truly don't think I could say anything negative about Luka versus the Clippers. I mean, this is like, I'm not saying Luka has things marked off on his calendar, but I'm sure when he woke up this morning, he probably smirked. That Luka smirk we always see, and I'm gonna cook these boys tonight. And like you said, the Clippers have tried 40 different defensive strategies against him, and like you said, now the only thing they've done is they supplemented a couple solid defensive role players for a terrible defensive player in the starting rotation now. So I don't think Harden helps that out at all. I think Luka has a phenomenal game. It's just like, damn, this is a high number, but I'm going to be telling you here. But yeah, you don't get too high like this very often. What are his triple double odds? Are they like minus 130 or something? Like, I mean, they must be at this point.
I'll pull it up. I'll be on FanDuel here. Double is minus 600. Yeah. Triple double is minus 180 or plus 180 on FanDuel there. So, the tough part is you don't know which one he's going to do, right? You don't know what category, so that's what makes it tough. But I know everybody wants to use the Luka since he's become a dad. I think it was after the OKC game. Since Luka has become a dad, right? Ready for this is just straight points. 40, 32 because of foul trouble, 35, 33, 39, 40, 38. He's had a double-double in every single one of those games except for one, and triple-doubles in 3 of them. So this dude is I'm really excited to watch this one. I hate this NBA slate where they do all of these people up until 8:30. This should be the last game, dude. Why are you playing a Boston game at 10? Just finish the damn slate. All play at once because now I got to feel like I got to force someone in the Celtics game in my DFS lineup. Because I want a late night hammer, but dude, I don't know how you get away from Luka, man. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either, to be honest. Like I said, it's a high number, but at the end of the day, It's this high for a reason, right? I mean, he's gonna get his tonight. There's no competition, like you said, and as someone that's bet the under on Luka before, like I'm sure we've all done it at least once. It's awful to watch. I mean, he gets every rebound. Like if there's a center, once again, the same Russell Westbrook of the centers like putting their hands up. You know what I mean? Getting that opportunity right there. The free throws obviously always come through as well. It's just. Oh, Luka's he's a stat sheet monster. And I mean he's a good player, obviously. You don't wanna say that as a negative to him like a lot of people do, but for betting purposes, nobody does it better than this guy right now.
All right, so let's go a quick. Oh, let's take a look actually. All right. Over 30.5 point rebounds for Ant. Are you doing anything else in that game outside of Cat? Because this is really kind of going against what you want in your bet, talking about you had point rebounds already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bet in this one. I think he has a tougher matchup. Like I said, I think my path to victory is just easier than Ant's. But at the end of the day, Ant's a higher usage player, and he's elite. I'm not going to really ever give you anything too negative for that. The rebounds doesn't jump out to me, though, to be completely honest. The rebounds jumps out a lot more for Cat. In my opinion. So I would say points for me. I have no problem with Anthony Edwards' points. I just think Karl Anthony Towns has a slightly easier path to get there tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, I get it. It's just play it at 6 then. Just get them at least close to the time, right? Because it just sucks, at least for slates like this, because you can't play a night slate because there isn't a night slate. There's one game. You know what I mean? Like when all these games are kind of lined up like this, it just makes it a little bit weird here. Mm-hmm. Asking about Ant because his percentage was higher on the optimizer. I don't know if you're talking about like the higher probability to cash.
I would assume
fantasy points. I don't know what you mean with the optimizer there, but honestly, I try to stay away from too many of those optimizer spots there, just because. It depends, I guess. Whenever I hear optimizer, I think DFS. I don't think bets. So we could be on different wavelengths here.
Well, I mean, a lot of sites use their optimizer for DFS and just try to kind of blindly apply it to betting, some for more success than others. I don't know what optimizer you're using. All I would say is I would hope that the optimizer would say that every day, right? Because he's the highest usage player on the team. I would assume the optimizer is higher on the star player than it is the second player every game. And I would agree with that. I have no problems with that. But at the end of the day, you're betting on spike performances, right? You're not really betting on the median outcome right here. And for me, I think this, for my analysis from earlier in the show, obviously, I think it lines up as a better opportunity for a spike performance. So he says odds to hit from the DGF optimizer. Yeah. Not familiar with that one. I know there's a lot of, content out there. I don't know. I can't tell you if it's good or bad, but all I can say is like I'd hope, you know what I mean? Like optimizers generally are a good resource to use.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just tough. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of DGF, but hey, if you're making money, we're never gonna go against it. So unless it's against our plays, then we're gonna be like hoping we want us both to win. If there's a middle, we'll try, but. We're still gonna be cheering for my money, right? I ain't gonna cheer.
Throw it out here.
I'll be that guy. I don't care. I'll be that asshole. But all right, so let's get a quick recap in here. Get our locked and loaded long shots in here as well. Let's get it rolling.
Sounds good. Karl Anthony Towns 18 points. Max Strus 12 points. We got a little combination on DraftKings, and we got Nick Richards over 11.5 points, -110 over on BetMGM.
The real Scary Terry over 31.5 points plus assist, -110. You can't be official Scary Terry unless Jacoby Brissett is playing, I guess. So that's a little tougher. So Luka points, rebounds over 46.5, -110. Gerardo has a question here before we get into our long shots. Any thoughts on Bron rebounds, assists? I will be off that. I absolutely hate playing props against the Bulls because they're just so slow, bro. Yeah. Their games are so slow. I mean, it's hard for me to want to bet any rebounding prop when you have Anthony Davis, the leading rebounder in the NBA there. It's just tough. Like, I would rather play points, assists. I would rather play assists, because at least I know that he's going to be the top guy on their team for those opportunities, right? I love AD. You guys know this. So it just makes it hard for me to want to bet rebounds in there when I know AD's probably grabbing 20 tonight against.
He is questionable, though, to be fair. He is questionable. So obviously.
He's been questionable every game this year.
I know.
And he's played in every game but one. And that was on a back-to-back.
I just have to say it. I don't want you to get nailed after the show. Hey, idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I agree he's questionable every day, but that's always a possibility. I will say, on paper, it looks really good because I was looking at it as well. Rebounds, assists, both, maybe even a PRA. But you kind of nailed it of like the Bulls are just not a fun team to bet against. The one thing I will say is the Bulls do make life a bit harder against guards than anyone else. So maybe if you're thinking, even if he doesn't get there in terms of, efficiency, but that's more of a points argument than an assist argument because you're not helping, your other guards out there. So tough one. I think rebounding is where I'd go, but like you said, it's just tough when both guys are healthy and both lines are high. You're never getting a discount. It's LeBron freaking James. He's 8.5, 7.5 every day. You know what I mean? You're never getting like, they forgot about LeBron James today. That doesn't happen in Las Vegas. So I agree. I like rebounding. I see the potential, but it's just a tough matchup. And with so many options on the board, it's not something that I gravitated towards.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page there. Stu, what is the long shot that you got your eye on today? I know you got something.
Yeah, I was going to say it's tough because I got a couple things locked in. I don't know. Like I got obviously the Strus threes ladder, which is my favorite, but I don't know if maybe I'll go a different direction since I already gave that out. I played Jaime Jaquez 20 plus points at plus 500 a little bit earlier in the day. I thought that was a good price. His base is still at 13.5. Feels like they give this
500, you said?
Yeah, 500. And I can check if I actually did not line shop that, to be completely honest. So I can pull up the Pickett app real quick and see if there's a better line. Obviously, you never want to give out one that is bad and people can get a better number on. But hey, you guys know the deal with NBA props, man. They come out randomly. It's a tough run out here. But what I like about Jaquez, I know you're thinking this is a terrible matchup. What are we doing right here? It isn't a good matchup. It's a good matchup for one facet of the game. Orlando allows a lot of pull-up mid-range jumpers. And when you're a good defense, you normally do that, because that's an inefficient shot in the modern NBA. Exactly. That's how we're building defensive structures. It's sure, allow mid-range, allow pull-up shooting. Let's limit the high-value paint touches. Let's limit those outside threes. And they do a very good job with that. The reason everyone hated on Jaime Jaquez and why I made some money on his draft props this year is because nerds hated him to a certain extent because he was old and he's a mid-range player. They thought this is a career college guy. They didn't think maybe once you took away the athletic advantage, they thought maybe his game wouldn't play at the next level. Every indication has been that's not the case. This guy demolishes that mid-range area. That is where he wants to operate from. So you have, in my opinion, a matchup. Well, it's terrible for a lot of guys. I think it adversely affects the guards on this team way more. I mean, Duncan Robinson's going to be in hell. All these shooters are going to be in hell. Get a hand in their face, and they're in a rough spot. That's all Orlando does. They get a hand in your face. They get annoying. Jaquez can power through that. He's not that kind of player, man. I think his style of play operates well. I want to see those ISO mid-range opportunities, get him to the paint. I'm not scared. I mean, Isaacs is obviously a good defender. That guy's playing like 11 minutes a game, though. You know what I mean? If we're going to get these reps against the Mo Wagners of the game, who I've watched a lot of Mo Wagner, I think we win that matchup right here. So at 500, I think we're getting a good price. Like I said, I like Cat rebounds ladder, but that's already on the show. I already talked about points. I already mentioned the rebounds earlier. I like Strus threes ladder. This is a good way to mix it up right here, going to another game.
Yeah, I like being boring when I get almost a 10-1 odds on mine. I'm going Luka Doncic 40 points, Terry Rozier double-double. That's going to be 928. I do want to bet on Nick Richards double-double. Now he hyped me up on his points there. That's plus 160. I think that's great odds. I wish Bridges was still out, but I think that if he was out, that would literally be like minus 110. Yeah. So I really like these spots. These are my two favorite guys to back today. Outside of those guys, obviously you can go to your Halliburtons. You can go into those games that are going to still be fast paced there. I do want to bet on AD rebounds if he does play. That is an absolute smash spot for me. I've been doing that against Vucevic all the time. This dude on defense, especially, going to give up a ton of offensive rebounds to Anthony Davis there, and he's going to be trying to sit on the outside. AD will probably just be absolutely feasting down there, grabbing those boards. If I can I might even ladder that up to 16. So that's another option. Again, there's not going to be many props out on Lakers yet with, the questionable tags. But what I do like is AD's only sat one game as a questionable tag, and that was off a back-to-back where he played 40 minutes the night before. So if it is that adductor, if it is that ankle, yes, they look really bad on there. He's seeing AD in that questionable tag, but sign me up, baby. I think he absolutely demolishes the Bulls tonight. And he can use that slow pace to his advantage because that means they're posting up, getting to do all that. It doesn't matter. AD is going to absolutely work Nikola Vucevic in the paint, dude. It ain't even close. Give me a huge day for AD.
Yeah, no, I like this spot right here. My one thing, I guess, would be, to be honest, I would rather go 40-40 for Rozier and Luka. That's that. I know. I obviously hyped it up a little earlier. But like, just if I see the upside game happening for me, it's like, is it Rozier like feeding Bridges and Richards? I think that comes in. I think you got a chance. But for me, I think if they stay in this game, I mean, 40 is aggressive, obviously. Let me.
They don't even offer it. 40-30 would be the best we could do.
40-30. Yeah, let's get a little bit more reasonable. But that's more, I guess, my mindset of that game. But I like the long shot, obviously. I'll probably, split it up like $10. One for the 40-30 and one for the 40 double-double right there.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, Luka 40 is plus 180 only. So that is not going to be as big of odds as a normal man to score 40.
Yeah.
We see 30 points for Rozier at plus 260, 35 at plus 700. That is a spot we might need to throw a little hammer on there. I do really like that. Tyrese double-double, I believe, is minus 700. So that one I will not. That's a tough part. Minus 700 for a double-double, relying on guys to hit shots. That is not the guy I want. You know what I mean? I need Buddy Hield to shoot well, which probably will. I need Benedict Mathurin to shoot well. You need all these guys to shoot well. So I understand the assist line, and it's going to continue to fly up, dude. It's just this number is so high, dude. It's just so high. For him to get – what do you let's have a little fun before we head out. What do you think on FanDuel Tyrese Halliburton to have 8 assists is?
I mean, it's 8 assists is probably like minus 6,500 or something like that.
So it's value, bro. It's only minus 4,000. That's value. Throw 4,000 on it, Stu. Get that quick money, bro.
I mean, the thing is, we laugh about it. It's all fun and games until it's like 4 a.m. and you see some Chinese basketball and you see, whoa, that line, maybe 400 isn't so bad. They're up by 25. Maybe, $4,000 if you're down 100, $4,000 to win 100 sometimes doesn't look so bad. I'm just messing around. You don't want to be doing stuff like that. But I mean, hey, honestly, maybe to me that is value because like 8 assists, I mean, he's going over that. But obviously, that's insane. You don't want to be betting that. And holy shit. I mean, just the fact that that's even a thing. And also, like, I'm guessing that's FanDuel, right? There's no alt under. If you're going to offer an insane price like that, offer me an under. I'll take them because it's frustrating that these one-way markets, they can price it however they want, right? They can truly price it however they want. If you don't have to offer an under, then your odds can be whatever you say they are, which is not fair at all to the consumer. So that, I guess, before we get out of here, that's a little piece of advice. If you ever see a one-way market in any sport, you're getting fucked. Just to be completely clear, you are getting fucked. If it is a one-way market, that's not an accident. If you can only bet an over or if you can only bet an under, that's not an accident. That is a telltale sign that you most likely should not bet that thing. So there you go. I mean, more books are adding anytime touchdown unders as well. We're seeing that more and more. I mean, I just hope we get more of these alt unders as the alt over numbers get worse and worse because they're the parlay guys and the books are scared as fuck. They don't want people taking away that parlay money, so they just make the odds bad. and there's no recourse there. So some guys like me want to bet some unders every once in a while. The point is, give me those alt unders and avoid those one-way markets.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, Stu. Anything you got for the people before we head out? We got 30 people still staying with us here, 55 minutes in. Anything else? That was your rant of the day. At least you got that in there. But anything you got for them before we head?
Yeah, no, they've been yapping a little bit too much right here. So we'll head on out of here. Got some good plays today. Like I said, I haven't lost a past the prop play all of last week, 4 straight shows. Let's keep that going today. I don't see any reason why that would change. We got some NBA in there. We had some NFL in there. It's been going good. I think we got some great spots. Like I said, I think we got some great long shots at the end. I was just looking at it. Got your Nick Richards spot in the double-double 160. It's plus 120 everywhere else. And also, the rebounds for 10 rebounds is plus 110. So that's clearly them just not updating their number yet. That's a good spot right there. And then I did get a little combo with Cat double-double as well. That'll get you 500 right there, or 460 depending on your book. So I think we got some good spots today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, check out the YouTube, check out my Twitter over at Monotone Football. A lot of smart people over in the Discord as well, completely free. You can join with the link in my bio. So we'll be back on Wednesday. That's all I got today. I think we got some winning picks for you guys.
Sounds good. We'll be back on Friday. NFL plays. Getting back after that. Just dropped my YouTube play of the day, college basketball spot, 30 minutes before the show. So you're here, might as well grab it. Might as well grab that lock in there. It's, like I said, a phenomenal day of basketball. I am going to have way too many plays today, and I am all for it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you have any other questions, you haven't been able to make it in here. Maybe you're out doing your first time holiday shopping for the week, for the year, right? Pop in later, man. We got a couple hours yet. We got 5 hours yet before the first play. First game of the NBA slate will be going on. So make sure you guys drop those questions, comments, concern in the chat. We'll try our best to get back to you. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and we will see you on Friday for another NFL stream for Pass the Prop.